Hello, my wonderful, beautiful friends. Guys, welcome back to r/EntitledPeople, where you'll hear stories about people who truly think the world revolves around them and that nobody else on Earth matters. Guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day today, and get ready because this episode will knock your socks off. If you're not wearing socks, it'll knock your feet off, so put some socks on. Guys, I hope you enjoy the stories today, my friends, and do remember to hit that subscribe button for future stories. Let's dive in. Okay, story time. So yesterday, after all my Christmas shopping was done, I decided to head to my local gym for a workout session. In the parking lot, I was cut off by a huge SUV. The lady also parked in the handicap zone that had a violators may be towed warning. We'll get to that part later. As I'm walking past to go inside, the mom gets out of the SUV with her 4 kids in tow, and me decide to give her a friendly warning said, "Hey, you know you're in a handicapped parking spot, right? I don't mean to give you crap for it, but it's a pretty hefty fine and you could get towed." Now, the mom replies with, "Yeah, I know, but I'm pregnant so it's allowed. Plus it's Christmas Eve, nobody gives out tickets today." Now, I just shrug at that and go on my way. Okay, lady, don't say I didn't try. While I'm in the gym, the mom and her kids come in. They start running around playing tag, bumping into people and screaming their heads off. I watched as staff approached her and asked if she could control her kids as they're disrupting people's workouts, but she just replied, "Kids will be kids. Let them be kids. Go do your job and sweep the floor. And let me parent my own kids." Now, I hear this and think, oh my god, that's unbelievable. So I got off the track and went to do my routine. Meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out a way to teach this entitled woman a lesson for treating the staff members so poorly. Then I remember, oh, this lady is parked in a handicap spot. So I go to the front desk and inform them about the woman and how she illegally parked her car, and made up some crap about how I saw an actual handicapped person having to park somewhere else. The staff told me they'd deal with it, and I went on my way. About 30 minutes later, there's a tow truck outside, and there's an announcement. The announcement says, "Will the owner of so-and-so car with license plate so-and-so please come to the front desk?" Well, the mom never came down, so the announcement was made 2 more times, and then finally, the car was towed. About 15 minutes later, I see the lady and kids go to leave, but then come back in about 5 minutes later, screaming at the person at the front desk asking where her car is. They inform her of the situation and how they tried to get a hold of her, and she goes on this entitled rant. She says, "I'm pregnant. I have kids who need to get home and to be fed. You are so goddamn heartless that you towed my car? What am I supposed to do now? Take the bus?" She then gets on her cell phone and dialed 911 and called the police and threw a tantrum. She was then informed that if she didn't calm down, she would be asked to leave. So as I'm enjoying the show and getting ready to leave, the mom yells at the person again at the front desk saying, "I refuse to leave until you bring my car back." And the desk person tells her that if she doesn't leave, they'll have to get the cops involved. She said, "Good, then I can jail you for having my car towed." The mom and her kids go stand outside, and I leave a few minutes later. As I left, I look at her and ask, "So, I'm assuming you got towed?" And she responds with, "Shut your slut mouth." Very classy, Karen, to which I responded, "Have a very Merry Christmas." Now, I don't know what ended up happening after that, but I'm glad to have gotten to see some justice on an entitled woman. Oh my goodness, my friends. That lady deserved it so much. Knowing that an entitled person gets exactly what they deserve is so satisfying. I love that part where she says she can park in a handicap spot because it's Christmas Eve, and nobody tickets on Christmas Eve. Like, what kind of world do you live in where you think that? I mean, hey, you might not get a ticket, but you sure as heck can get towed. Case in point, my friends. So this encounter with a wild mom wasn't mine, but my mom's. My mom's a teacher at an elementary school, and the lady did not interact with her, but my mom witnessed it. Now, the kid in the story is about 12 or 13 years old, and so is her son. So apparently during arts and crafts class, a student accidentally gets some paint on a classmate's white shirt. Because he's nothing like his mom, he simply said it was okay and kept going on with his day. At the end of the day, the mom comes to pick her son up and sees that her son's shirt is covered in paint, and that's when all hell breaks loose. I guess she asked the kid what happened, and that's when she turns bright red and storms out of the car screaming, "Tell me where the kid is." She then drags her son around the schoolyard and told her son to point out the kid who did this. They eventually find the kid who was just playing basketball with his classmates while waiting for the bus. Now, my mom is a part of the after-school supervision, so my mom sees the lady causing a huge scene and decides to follow, knowing full well that this is not good. The mom stomps over to the kid her son points out, and the following conversation goes like this. The mom says, "Why were you being so careless? How the hell did you get paint all over my son's clothes? I want your phone number right now. Your parents are gonna pay for his new shirt." Before the kid can answer, his mom proceeds to slap the kid. Hard. Now at this point, the parents who witnessed the whole thing start screaming, "Hey, hey, hey, you can't do that!" The kid who got slapped apparently starts to cry, and my mom runs over with some other staff members and parents who saw the whole thing, and they all screamed at her saying, "Ma'am, you can't storm around the schoolyard like this, and don't you dare put your hands on a student. We're calling the police." The entitled mom says, "I'm sick and tired of dumb kids always destroying my son's clothes. I just bought him this shirt last week, and it's ruined. If it's not a marker, it's glue. If it's not glue, it's paint." So by now, more parents and kids have swarmed, and all of them were staring daggers at the mom, and she'd realized what she did in her fit of rage, so she left and went back to her car. The teachers and parents all tried to block her way to get her to stay, but she quickly booked it out of there, which made the whole situation even worse. Long story short, the kids' parents were called, and they of course went to the police. The police came to the school and got footage of the incident, and in clear view saw the crazy mom approaching the 12-year-old boy and slapping him. We're not sure what happened after that and whether or not she was charged with anything, but my mom told me the kid moved away the week after. She never saw that boy or his crazy mom again. What a crazy thing to do. Like, putting your hands on another person's kid is the biggest no-no ever. Like, yeah, the kid gets paint on your son's new shirt, but kids are friggin' 12 years old. They go to school and get stuff on their clothes all the time. And that's no reason to basically hunt down the kid, who probably did it by accident, and slap him. I know for a fact that a few mama and papa bears listening to this would say, "Screw the police. We don't need them. We're gonna go straight to that woman's house and burn the place down." I mean, probably not, but you guys know what I mean. So I'll try to keep this short. I had a 1967 Impala 4-door that I bought in February 2019. A couple months ago, I bought my first house that had a 2.5 car garage. I moved the car in and started tearing it down for a complete restoration. I had the body in one bay and the chassis in the other. Plus, the whole garage was filled with parts. About 2 months ago, my girlfriend comes to live with me during this whole crisis, and the whole time, she has hated that car. Now, she wants to park in the garage, but I have 2 acres of land with a lot of nice places to park under really shady trees, or even the barn if she has to be inside. So she gets upset and I tell her it's my house, and it's not like I can throw the car back together real quick. Anyways, I was out of town for a couple of days on a business trip for a small local company. When I got back, my girlfriend was all smiles. She was making me food all the time, doing the chores and all that jazz. I thought maybe she was just happy to have me home, but then I realized that I didn't see her car in its usual spot. So I asked her where she parked it, so I could make sure to mow that area and keep it clean. And she said, "Oh, don't worry, I parked it in the garage." Now, I asked her how, since the garage was full and there isn't room for her car, and she told me to go check it out. Now, it turns out that while I was gone, she hired some people to come over and move everything related to that car, including the drivetrain, body, chassis, and all the parts, and take it to the local scrapyard. I was absolutely furious. I had spent over $11,000 on that car, including new parts, services, and the car itself. I told her that I was going to be taking her to court for that, and she brushed me off like I was just being dramatic. She then said, "So you'd rather have your rusty junker car parked in there that's never used instead of my car? I park outside all the time. It'd be nice to have my car in the garage." I then told her it's done between us and to pack up her things and to leave. Now, I'll admit, I was really angry, but I did end up getting a lawyer. Her family and friends are absolutely blowing up my phone, saying it's just a stupid piece of junk and that she can't pay back all the money I spent and I should just let it go. But I've been putting all my time, effort, and money into that car for 1.5 years now, and god damn it if I'm not gonna get justice for what she did. The funny thing is, I get a call from her mom, and she basically yells at me, saying I'm ruining her daughter's life over a stupid car, and how dare I choose the car over her own daughter. I told her that she ruined her own life. I've been gathering documentation and stuff, and I'm about to head down to the police station and file a police report. My friends, this is absolutely insane. The girlfriend definitely overstepped her boundaries, and a person with that type of mentality has got to go. Who knows what else she'd get rid of? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't like your dog. I just had to give it away while you were gone. But I've had my dog for 13 years. Oh, that's so sad, but it does happen, guys. So OP does have some updates, so listen to this. OP says, I went to the police station last night and was told to come back in the morning. Just got back and filed an official report against her for grand larceny and grand theft auto. I showed them all the receipts I had for the car and the footage of her letting the guys come and take it away as well. They said they'll be in contact with all three parties, me, ex-girlfriend, and junkyard guys. Soon, they'll hopefully be able to recover some or all of the car. Update number 2. They found my car. The junkyard guys were apparently in the middle of hiding it when the police came to ask questions. It was on a forklift and they were going to put it on top of a pile of cars that was hidden behind more piles of cars. They said it was theirs and claimed they had the title, but the police matched my VIN, so it was obviously mine. I know at least one person there has been arrested. I think he was in the camera footage. They also told me that they would be looking into this specific junkyard for any other vehicles reported stolen. I'm just so glad they found my car. Luckily, I made quite an album of pictures detailing me tearing down the car, so I can use that to prove what parts were actually mine. So I can hopefully get all of it, or most of it, back. The police haven't let me take it back home yet, as they say it's evidence or something, so hopefully I can get it back eventually. She's gonna be all right. So I'm a 36-year-old female and found out that I'm pregnant. I'm overjoyed, as I've always wanted a child of my own. I focused on my career and my life, and since I'm single, I wasn't sure if having a baby would ever happen. I was excited to tell my family the big news. My older sister has always been the golden child and has one child, my nephew, who's 7. My brother is also married, and him and his wife have made it very clear that they don't want kids. His wife is also really entitled and always loves to be the center of attention, and I don't like her very much. So last night, we had a big family dinner. I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to share the news. Since this will be my only child, I wanted to make it special, and I also wanted to involve my nephew. I got a t-shirt that read, "This is what an awesome big cousin looks like." I slipped away with my nephew before dinner and had a special moment with him while I told him he was gonna have a cousin. My nephew was very excited and he put on the t-shirt. He put his sweater on over top of it, and I told him that he could take the sweater off whenever he wanted at dinner. In the middle of dinner, he took off the sweater and waited for someone to notice. Well, my sister noticed, and she jumped up and excitedly screamed when she saw the shirt. Now, my parents all immediately assumed that it was my sister-in-law. Now, I wasn't hurt by them assuming this, and I kind of expected it because she's married. I also expected my sister-in-law to say that she's not pregnant because, you know, if you're not pregnant, why pretend that you are? But she didn't. My sister-in-law stands up and proudly exclaims, "I'm pregnant." Surprise! Now, I was really hurt because my sister-in-law did not even try to correct them. She just went along with it and began to rub her flat belly while laughing. I must have looked completely hurt and dumbstruck because my mom yells at me to stop being so rude and to congratulate them. Now, I tried to explain that I was the one who gave my nephew the shirt, and they didn't even hear me and just continued to fawn over my sister-in-law. She then starts talking and telling everybody that she hopes it's a girl so they can do girly stuff together. My brother stood frozen in shock, almost as much as I was, while everybody was overjoyed. I was furious and stormed out. I received multiple texts at this point from my family telling me what a jerk I am for making this about me. My mom texted me and said things like it wasn't my sister-in-law's fault that I was jealous. I didn't reply to anything and just cried myself to sleep. This morning, my brother called my parents and everybody and told them that my sister-in-law is not pregnant. How she just got worked up in the moment and decided to run with the announcement. They've all now called me to apologize, saying that they just got caught up in the moment. Now, my mom said I could have a redo dinner so I can get it right, and they will all act surprised. Thanks, Mom. My sister-in-law then sent me a message that said that the way I chose to announce was the way she wanted to do it if she ever got pregnant. She tried to apologize and told me that since she's never having a child, that she just wanted to experience what the moment would be like. She also said that I have my chance at the redo dinner. I told them no, that I'll not be doing a redo. Every single person has now told me that I'm being selfish because I won't let them make it right. So to me, there's no fixing this. I'll eventually forgive them, but I don't want to do a second announcement so they feel better. Ain't that some frickin' BS? What in the world is the matter with that sister-in-law? How the heck can you feel that it's right to steal someone's pregnancy announcement and pass it off as your own just so you can be the center of attention? That is definitely entitlement at its finest, my friends. Or some loose screws in her head. And that, my friends, brings us to another end of our /entitled people. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the stories today, and thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. If you missed the last episode of our /entitled people, I will link it right here. A Karen pepper sprays paramedics because they cut her off in traffic while on the way to save a life. Guys, check it out if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you.